So I just want to say, I don't know who this person is, but I ran across a few videos directly on social media, and they don't really make that much sense. So we're going to go through it, and I'm going to give my comments after each of those two clips.
She wouldn't last 10 minutes in a COD lobby is not, nor has it ever been, a valid excuse for men to act like pieces of human garbage in gaming. I shouldn't have to play a game where all I say is hi and the whole game is thrown and I'm in hell for the next 40 minutes because men are being emotional about it. That is not normal, and that's not how the old COD days were, because I promise you, as a man, you have never had somebody throw on the basis of your gender. That doesn't happen. You can say it happens, you're lying. I'm sorry.
Technically, to an extent, based on your gender, you're correct. But based on race, yes, this does happen. And again, as a Black Call of Duty player, and I was there probably before she was even playing Call of Duty, it does happen. A lot of racism took place, a lot of nonsense that men would say to other men before women were even in the landscape of playing video games. Any reference that had to deal with any type of SA dealings, men would be stating that to other men on a consistent everyday basis. This is proof that she does not really have the history or the context to really talk on the subject because she really wasn't there. The 360 days, that was the wild, wild west of playing shooters. Like anything and everything would be said and would get done directly on those games. Like it just is what it is, right? And through that, a lot of men, a lot of boys became men, right? You had to, grow a thick skin. You had to be quick with it. You got to come with snapbacks, everything to the extent you had to be able to stay, for lack of a better term, in the kitchen. And if you couldn't, you got to get out. If the kitchen is too hot for you, then it's time for you to sit up there and get out. It just is what it is. But let's continue.
I don't know why that's such a common thing in the comments of my videos. You guys want to be oppressed so bad that you'll look at a man calling me a telling me he's gonna tell me to get back in the kitchen and say it's not a woman thing and say that that happens to you too. It doesn't. There's a reason that historically male dominated spaces are known for being toxic and unsafe. That goes for gaming, that goes for sports. Any male dominated space is a bad one.
Can we say that male dominated spaces are toxic and that we like to say reckless stuff? Yes, because we've grown up saying these things to other men. It didn't matter what a guy was. If we decided that it was an insult and we wanted to use it at that point in time, we're going to use it directly as an insult. Again, this is the landscape of gaming. Like she said before, a male dominated space. What do you think men were saying to each other before we started really having an influx of girls or women directly in that space? We were saying any and everything that we wanted to each other because that's just what guys sit up there and do. Like nobody was sitting up here like, oh my God, I'm a victim here. Oh my God, I'm going through this, that, and the third, and they're just primarily attacking me just because I'm a woman. There was tons of times that I was attacked online because I was black, and I received a whole bunch of verbal comments along with written comments as well. And that was before they actually had a reporting system on Xbox. And then if you think that's bad, just go back to the times of being on PC. Nobody could hear a voice. Nobody knew who you were. They just could only describe you by the way that your character looked. And in their mind, that's exactly who you are, who you were to them at that moment in time. And that's how they got off, their jokes or whatever it is, offensive things that they wanted to specifically state. Again, you're looking at a woman who does not have a tough skin when in male spaces, right? It doesn't matter if it's sports or whatnot or whatever. You have to have a tough skin. You're not going to have weak men directly in these spaces and then trying to cry to other men like, oh my God, I'm getting bullied. Like, somebody help me, somebody defend me. No, it's going to be like, yo, you either get out or you sit up there and toughen up. Ain't nobody going to sit up there and save you. That just is what it is, right? Even in the older Call of Duty lobbies from the 360, there wasn't going to be men to come up there and save you if you had a whole bunch of white boys talking a whole bunch of mess, calling you all type of slurs and this, that, and the third. Wasn't nobody else about to come save your ass directly in those Call of Duty lobbies. You had to save yourself. You had to battle tooth and nail for yourself every single day, both during the game, after the game, before the game. That just is what it is. So again, for her to sit up here and make this huge complaint, oh, it's toxic, is this, it was like this before you got here. But now you want it to change because you are here now. No, it's not going to change for you. What you need to do is get used to it. You need to get better at throwing out some quips, being able to fight back verbally, or also get better at the game. Like I said before, that just is what it is. I don't know what else to tell people.
That's not me being sexist. That is me saying there is an inherent issue with the way that you guys have your locker room talk that makes everybody else feel unsafe. I don't know how you could possibly find it fun to make other people feel unsafe. No woman is asking men to make gaming a safe space with sunshine and rainbows and everything, but could you please be normal? Because I want to be able to enjoy playing the game without my life being threatened, without my body being threatened, because I'm existing as a woman. And men are the ones making it unsafe.
So you're saying that when you get into these lobbies, you get into these male spaces, men make your body unsafe. How is that even possible if we're talking about online? You can literally turn off the game. You can literally duck out of that lobby and go directly into another lobby. You can actually turn on a block button or a mute button. I'm a little bit confused on how it is that you're having all of these problems and issues when there is an easy fix literally on your console. I'm a little bit confused. And then you're saying that you're not asking for men to, to transform this or make this into a safe space. Actually, you are, because you want men to stop doing the things that they've always been doing since before women, girls, whoever were directly in these spaces. Again, even when it comes to sports, this is how men talk to one another. It just is what it is. Like I said, go back to Mike Tyson and boxing. Boxing, he said some of the most craziest stuff, and that was directly to another man. So again, this is how men normally sit up there and talk, regardless of if it's irrational or whatever it is. Men just normally say these things to get under another person's skin. This just is what it is. And to sit up here and literally try to state that, oh, men are online making my body feel unsafe. How? You're online. You're in the safety of your own home. How is a man online making your body feel unsafe? I'm vastly confused. I'm vastly confused. You got a whole report system, you got a mute system, you got a block system. You don't even have to go into an online lobby and talk to anybody. First of all, you're a streamer. I'm looking at the whole setup, the computers and everything. You don't even have to talk to the people in the lobby. You could talk to the people who subscribe directly to you, who are following you on Twitch or wherever you at. You don't have to talk to nobody. But yet you're on here making some type of complaint, and you want to do this whole victim routine, like, oh yeah, men are the issue, men are the problem. You guys like to sit up there and say all of these things and talk about grape and all of these things when it deals with women. Men have been saying this stuff to other men for the longest time possible, again, before women and whoever even gotten into these spaces. So again, you want men to change so that you can quote unquote feel safe. You want men to change because you're stating that what we're doing is not normal when realistically it is. You can go from little boys to young men to teenagers to young men to older men. It just is what it is.
And I do not care if you feel targeted by me saying men or if you feel attacked by me saying men. You are part of the problem. If you feel attacked by that, you're part of the problem. If you say just mute them, you're part of the problem. If you sit there and let them say that to me and you don't intervene, you are part of the problem. Because I have a lot of male friends, normal male friends, who don't say slurs and don't threaten people and just play like normal. I understand it is not all men. But if you are not one of the men doing this, it is entirely on you to help stop the men who are. If you don't understand that and you don't understand power imbalances and gender hierarchy, it's not my place to teach you. I'm not your mother. I'm not your teacher. Close the game for 5 minutes and educate yourself. But stop making this a bad experience for everybody else who's just trying to play the game.
Again, all I heard was a victim mentality. It's like, oh, if you're basically agreeing with what these men do, then you're part of the problem. No, I just learned how to sit up there and fight back with my words, or I ignore people, or I block them, or I just leave the lobby. I take any one of those options. I'm not going to take out the time to try to combat and fight every single person so that they can curb their thought process to how mine is, and then use time to educate. I don't have that time. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. I'm going to take the options that are given direct, or better yet, how about not even playing the game? How about that one? How about that one? How about if gaming is such a male dominated and is such a sexist, such a toxic area? How about just not playing games? There's a variety of other things else in the world that you can do but play games. Better yet, how about just sitting up there playing cell phone games? That way you don't have to actually communicate with another human being, of which there's a possibility that this person may be toxic masculinity and stating all of these things. And like I said before, there's a variety of methods and ways that a person could fix their own situation. But instead of them actually doing it, they want other people to basically change for them to be comfortable, to quote unquote feel safe, and all these other things. It makes no sense. It literally makes no type of sense. If I'm living in an environment where I know 9 times out of 10 I'm going to sit up there and get robbed, I'm not going to sit up there and try to talk to the robbers and educate them on why it's wrong to rob. I'm going to sit up there and get my ass out of that situation, out of that area, so I don't continuously get robbed like the dummy. That's what you do. Or better yet, if you don't want to run from the situation, again, learn how to fight back. Learn how to give jabs, jokes, whatever it is. There's other women directly on social media that have dealt with guys for the longest time possible, and they have some of the best quips directly out there. You even got some guys out here who are gay, and they have some of the best responses to a lot of the guys that want to state a whole bunch of nonsense. So, like I said before, I don't know what to sit up there and tell you. Nobody's going to try to quote unquote educate themselves, as you like to say, even though you need to do some education yourself and go back and look at some old 360 Call of Duty, Battlefield, or whatever lobbies, even Halo lobbies. Halo 2 and 3, go back and listen to those lobbies. And I can for damn sure tell you a lot of women were not playing Halo 2 back during those days. Right? You can even again go back to Halo 3. Go back to any and all shooters. Go back to some MMOs. Go listen to those lobbies and how it is that men primarily talk to other men. This has just been something that has just always been there. And realistically, it's not going to change. And realistically, it doesn't need to change because people need to learn how to fight back verbally, how to combat the different things directly out there, and also learn how to get a thicker skin. You can't always run and ask for somebody else to save you from a situation when you realistically, as a grown adult, need to be saving yourself. That makes no sense.
Another one.
No, it's over, Ina. It's over. Like, if I were to have a boy, we better pray to God that he's gay. We better start indoctrinating him day one. We have to either make him trans or make him gay. We are not having a cisgender straight son.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Wouldn't that be heterophobic? Why would you, as a person, as a part of a community, have a fear of a straight male, and especially one that is coming directly from your DNA? I'm a little bit confused. Wouldn't that be forcing your beliefs and your ideals and your way of life directly on another person that should actually have the right and the freedom to choose for themselves? Isn't that the exact same thing that women fought against, where they were like, hey, we're tired of the patriarchy. We're going to start this feminist organization and we're going to fight for our rights so we're able to vote and we're able to move, in full autonomy. And, men can't control us and men doesn't have to, sign directly for our cars and our houses. And we can have our own credit cards and, we can go directly into the workforce and get our own education. Isn't that what women set up there and fought for with the feminist whole ideal and whatnot? But yet you're sitting up here telling me as a woman, you're going to decide if you were ever to have a son, he bet not be straight, because you're going to make sure that you change his mind so that he can convert over into your own beliefs, that you're going to indoctrinate him to believe and feel and see the world a whole different way, something of which is not even his choice. So you're literally taking away his ability to grow and choose and to experience the world from his own viewpoint. But yet you were the same person trying to state that, hey, we want, men to basically, conform and basically change in order to make us feel safe and yada, yada, yada. But then on top of that, you are also stating how dangerous men basically are. It's like, oh, every time I'm around you guys online, my body feels unsafe. I feel unsafe, yada, 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 all this other type of stuff. And you were stating how problematic straight men are. And now straight men are so problematic that if you were yourself, as you said by your own words, if you were to ever have a son that is straight, you would make sure that you would indoctrinate him and change his mind. But you're stating that straight men are the problem? Okay,